This is Jerry Mashesky with Balance Community Slackline Outfitters. Today we're going to be looking at the new Prim 30 Slackline kit, which is a 30-meter primitive slackline that's great for travelers and introductory longliners. Let's get started. Here is all the gear that you get with the Prim 30 Slackline kit. It comes with 30 meters of our new Feather Pro with a sewn loop on one end, 2 tree protectors, 2 medium steel rings, a small steel ring, a BC shackle, 5 Omega Pacific oval carabiners, and 2 8-foot adjustable slings. Let's get started rigging. The first thing you're going to need for the static side is one of the adjustable tree slings, 1 tree protector, the BC shackle, and the sewn loop end of your feather webbing. So let's walk over to the static side tree. Alright, so you're going to want to find a decently sized tree that has about a 12-inch, 30-centimeter diameter at the height that you're going to want to rig it. And this line we're rigging right now is about 60 feet long. And so I'm setting my anchors about chest height, just for easy rigging and easy walking in the middle. And so first you're going to want to wrap your tree protector around the tree and pass your adjustable anchor sling through the black loops here. And then you're going to take your BC shackle, unscrew the pin, and choose a few of these anchor loops in the adjustable anchor sling and pass the eye of the shackle through both ends of the sling. You want to keep the shackle relatively close to the tree here because these slings are going to stretch as you pull tension. But you want to keep it close so that it stays at the location that you rig it while you're walking to the other side. And then you're going to take the sewn loop and attach it to the pin of that shackle, screwing it closed and making sure that it's tightly closed. And now we're going to walk to the tensioning side tree while holding flat as we go. As soon as you walk over to the other tree and you maintain flat all the way here, you're going to want to make sure that you don't lose flat. So what I usually do is lay the webbing on the ground, take a stick and stab the stick into the ground and lay it on top of the webbing. You can even do 2, one on the other side too, to make sure that you don't lose flat, and that should maintain it while you work on the tensioning side anchor, which we're going to do right now. To build the tensioning side anchor, we're going to need our other adjustable anchor sling, the other tree protector, 3 Omega Pacific oval carabiners, and 1 medium steel ring. Let's get started. Now we're going to want to find another tree that's about at most 90 feet from the previous tree to rig our tensioning side anchor. As we can see here, the tree is also at least 12 inches in diameter at the height that we're going to rig it. And again, we're going to have the anchor about chest height for this length of line, which is about 60 feet. And so we're going to wrap our tree light around the tree, pass our adjustable anchor sling through the loops just like we did on the other side. But now we're going to do something different. You want to take the medium steel ring and pass one end of the sling through it, just like so. And now we're going to take one of our Omega Pacific carabiners, choose one of the anchor loops, clip it through, and then clip that to another anchor loop on the other side, creating a closed loop, just like that. And this is going to be our tensioning anchor. And you want to make sure that this carabiner is floating between the ring and the tree. You don't want it on the tree like that, and you don't want it up close to the ring like that. You want it in between the ring and the tree, just like that. Now we're going to take 2 more of those carabiners and clip them to that ring, with the gate opening towards the other tree, just like that. So now we can just let that hang and start rigging our tensioning system. All right, so to rig our tensioning side webbing anchor, we're going to need the small steel ring and 1 more Omega Pacific carabiner. So we're going to come back to the location that we maintained flat with the sticks, and we're going to build what's called a line locker. And so at about 90% of the length of the line from the static side, we're going to want to build this line locker. So maintain flat, pull in some slack, make sure you have about 10% of the line remaining to the tensioning anchor. Make a bite in your webbing with the walking line on the top and pass it through the ring, just like that. And then wrap that bite around and through the ring in the same direction. And then clip your carabiner straight to there. Pull it tight, and it should look like that. Here's a close-up of that line locker again. So make a bite, walking line on top, pass it through the ring, take that bite around, through the ring again, and clip your carabiner to that. And cinch it down. You want to make sure that the gate is opening away from the line locker. That'll make tensioning a lot easier. So let's build our tensioning system. All right, so we're going to start with the line locker, and we're going to take the tail of webbing. I'm going to run it towards the tree. Starting with the bottom carabiner attached to the ring here, we're going to pass the webbing up through that carabiner, just like that. And then we're going to run it back to the line locker and go up through this carabiner. So our tail's on the top here. Then we're going to go back to the tensioning anchor. This part is different. We're going to go down the top carabiner from the top to the bottom, just like that. And then lastly, we're going to take the tail and go again up through this carabiner and tuck it underneath the previous strand. That's very important. We'll get a close-up shot of that last step. So this is coming from the tensioning anchor, the last strand. It's going to go up this carabiner and underneath the previous strand. It's very important because that's what's holding the tension on this line. So now that we have that, we can start tensioning. To tension, take the tail leaving the last strand there, position yourself behind the tree and pull. You'll notice that as you pull, tension will be held by that tuck that we talked about in the last step. So continue pulling until it's very difficult. And now we can install the multiplier if you don't have enough tension. Right now we have enough tension, but I'm going to show you how to use the multiplier anyway. So what we're going to need is that last medium steel ring and a carabiner, the last carabiner. So take that carabiner, clip it to the bottom of the ring on your tensioning anchor. And then take the ring, form a bite in the tail, pass it through the ring, and do what's called girth hitch. We'll get a close-up of this. Just like that. Let's get a close-up. Alright, so take this tail, form a bite, just like that, pass it through the ring, and then go up and over, just like that. You want to make sure there's no twists in there. And then you want to get it as close to this point as possible. So follow this strand through the girth hitch. Just like that. Work that slack around and pull here. Cinch it up. And now we're going to run this back to the carabiner that's attached at the bottom of our ring there, just like this. And go up through it, and then come back to the ring, and then we're not going to pass the whole length through here, we're just going to take a bite just like that. That. And then pull as much through as you need. And now we can pull this. And it makes tensioning a lot easier. Just like that. As you can see, the ring has moved quite a bit, and this line is very tensioned. It's quite long too. Alright, so now we can back up the tail. Alright, so remove the multiplier when you're done tensioning, and so you're just left with the pure primitive system. And then leave that carabiner attached to the bottom of the ring. Then take the tail, oops, here, and we're going to do what's called a Munter mule hitch. So, position the camera here. So we want to form a loop just like that. And then just like that. And I'll provide links on how to do this knot. So what this is doing is we're creating a releasable backup knot, just in case this primitive system here, just in case this comes untucked while we're walking, we don't want the whole thing to fail, and so we're going to back up the tail here in a releasable way. That way we can rescue it if it does get loaded. So create the Munter hitch and tension it by following this strand around, and it goes to here, so pull there to tension it, and then cinch it up here. And now we're going to do the mule, which is create a loop like that with the tail on the bottom, pass it underneath, and then going over, make a loop and pass it through the hole. And then pull a decent amount of slack through there. And I like to tie what's known as fisherman's knot. So we'll go around everything once. Twice. And through everything like that. Now we are backed up, and ready to slackline. Looks good. Now we can learn how to detension. Alright, so once you're done slacklining for the day, you can undo all your backups. So start by sliding this knot back towards the tensioning anchor and get this tail out from here. Unwrap everything, undo the mule, and then if this is loaded, it should be easily releasable. If not, if it isn't loaded, you can just take it off. And now, with this last strand, we're going to walk over here, position ourselves a good distance back, and pull until it comes untucked from the last strand. And then you can slowly let off tension. And this was actually very tight, and so you can see that it's very easy to release tension there, even at the full tension or full length of the kit. And that pretty much does it. All you have to do now is disassemble everything and pack up and go home. That pretty much covers the instructions for the Prim 30 Slackline kit. Feel free to ask any questions below in the comments, and make sure you check out our product page in the link in the description below. Thanks again for watching. Again, my name is Jerry Mashesky with Balance Community Slackline Outfitters.